Becky.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Our favorite day of the week. Glad you're here.
And we're talking about some of our favorite things.
I know we're like getting back to basics today. I feel like we really talk a lot about niche and we get really into the details and certain things in the development and nonprofit world. And some days you just need to talk about hygiene, and we're talking about business hygiene.
So we're coming out of our series of entrepreneurial hacks, and I hope that, we've inspired you to dream bigger. I know the conversations that it started and those that have reached out, it has been so awesome to just hear the dreams that you have, and we want to be part of that. But to Becky's point, we also want to just get us back to taking action. And what is something that you can do today that is going to set up your dreams, your visions to happening? And the website, your website, wherever it is today, or if it doesn't exist yet, this is the front door that everybody sees these days, right? I say these days, how many days has it been? It's been the front door for
Yesterday
like
felt
30
like 10
years.
10 years. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
But we want to talk about your front door today, your website, and we're going to take 2 weeks to unpack this, but it is time to do a little bit of housekeeping. And honestly, we keep talking about this almost like we're selling our house or something. So we're thinking of it from this mindset of getting our house ready to sell. Okay, so channel your favorite HGTV renovation show. We're getting our house ready.
Fixer-upper. I've got it right now in my brain.
Adding some curb appeal. Mm-hmm. But we are going to get this fixed because it is really the heart of your organization out there. This is what people see. This is how people engage with you. And so it matters.
I mean, really, when you think about who you are in the digital space, your website is the center of your brand. Mm-hmm. And so if you think of that as sort of the hub, it really has to be something that looks incredible, that is actionable, that is telling the story of who you are in a really compelling way. And I don't just say telling the story with words. What images are you putting up there? What videos are you leveraging? What graphics are you using? And I really like using the analogy of the house because we don't want to bring anybody into our house and it looks messy or it looks very scattered and it doesn't. And I mean, that is my home right now, but it won't be after quarantine. But it's like, really, we want to get everything together to where it makes sense, where if somebody is just going to poke their head into our home and look around for a split second, what is it going to say about who we are and what we are doing? And so the thing that I love about taking on this conversation is you don't have to be a nonprofit to get a lot out of this. Yes, we're going to talk about fundraising. Yes, we're going to talk about missions, but anyone can have a website for business, for pleasure, and we're going to walk through some of those hacks today.
Yes. And so if you are enlightened, have this moment that you're getting somebody to come to your website, we want to get laser clear with what we're asking them to do. And so a lot of this strategy is going to point toward action. So I want you to be thinking about what action do I really want people to take? And some of that can be immediate. Oh, I want them to make a donation, but some of it may be long-term. I want them to fall in love with our mission. I want them to get on board with us. I want to join our, group of volunteers that shows up and serves. So with everything, and I think if you've taken any of our workshops or if you've hung around us, we always say, start with your goals. And so we're going to walk through 10 steps. This is number 1. 5 are coming at you this week and 5 are going to come at you next week.
Yeah. And I want to make sure that we precipitate this conversation by saying why we picked this for Friday. And it's because we've had an incredible friend who's been on the show, Dana Snyder with Positive Equation. And Dana is just a brilliant digital strategist and so evolved in what she knows how to leverage in the digital space. And I really enjoyed her episode, but she came to us and said, hey, I want to put together like this free online challenge where we can bring in hundreds of nonprofits. We can help them very quickly optimize their websites in ways that are not overwhelming to everyone. So this is something that anybody can do, and we're going to do it for free. So we're in that group with her and with an awesome company called Fundraise Up. Hopefully you've heard of them. And so stay tuned in because we're going to give you the links so you can go and join this if this is something that your organization or something that you're interested in. It's completely free, and it's just a 4-week step process, and we're going to make it fun and simple. And of course, we'll bring some templates and freebies along with it.
Yes. So we are really excited to be part of that. So we wanted to give you a preview of what you're going to get inside that free class that's working through as a Facebook group. So the next couple of weeks, we're going to unpack 10 different steps to help you really clean house on your website and get it ready to make the most transactions possible and get the most donors excited about your mission.
Yeah, so if you want to raise some money, this is for you online. We're going to help you optimize. Dana's going to help you put it on social. Fundraise Up's going to help you figure out how to monetize it. We're going to help you hand you a broom. We're going to get cleaning right now. So you want to start with the first?
Let's start with the first. Okay, if you've hung around us very long, you know that goal setting has got to be key with whatever you're doing, because it creates this North Star of clarity around every step that you're going to take. So of course, where you want to start with this when you're looking at updating your website and making it better is starting with your goals. What are you trying to accomplish? So fundraisers, nonprofits out there, we see you. You're probably thinking, I want to raise more money online. Clearly, that is a huge driver. You want to make giving as easy as possible. But also think outside of that, because that is in a very evolved place. I mean, someone making a gift, getting out their credit card, debit card, and typing in the numbers, or doing Venmo if you're using something like GiveButter, you are at a place where you're ready to convert and give payment, or to give something out of your wallet to this organization. But the majority of people coming to your website are just getting to know you or trying to sniff you out, trying to see what's happening. So let me just throw out another goal for you. Is how many people are coming to your website? What's the traffic looking like? And that is something that we believe that you can meaningfully change, especially adopting some of the strategies that we're going to help unpack and Dana Snyder is going to unpack through this course. But just think through your goals. So it could be giving, it could be getting people to your website, and it could also be trying to grow your list of people. We talk a lot about growing a list, and you should be thinking about this no matter what you're doing, is who's on your email list and how engaged are they with you? It is the one thing that is not controlled by algorithms. So your social media following, as awesome as that is, could change in a heartbeat. You know, you could be blocked from your account. You could get disappeared. The platform could go away. People could leave the platform. You want to get the email address because you own that, in a sense, that you at least have a direct line relationship to your people. So growing your email list is a great goal. And I would say that's where I would start.
And if you need some help on that, we had Jess Campbell with Out in the Boons here on the podcast. It's episode 20. We'll link it up in the show notes. Yeah, it was in season 1. And she walks through how to start building your email list. So go back to that if you're looking for a starting point. So great job with step 1, starting with your goals. The step 2 is know your numbers. And I don't know many people in life. I'm always very upfront about the fact that I am one of them that do not like to make time for data. But if you are not making time for data, how can you set a solid goal? So we want you to leverage some Google Analytics, and it's really just about benchmarking your web data. John touched on this just a little bit. What is your web traffic? How much money did you raise online last year? How many signups did you get? Where are people coming from? What platforms are pushing to your website? We want to know how much time people are spending on the site, bounce rates. I mean, there's just so much to dive into. And I think that once you have an understanding about how people are accessing your site, where they're going, how long they're staying, it's really going to help you drive that goal setting and the tactics and strategy that will flow from that goal. So please just spend some time, dive into Google Analytics. It's free, and it's something that everybody can do. And
if you feel overwhelmed, let me give you an olive branch. There is more data than any human could possibly try to soak up in Google Analytics. So you can very much get lost, but just keep it basic in the beginning. Like Becky said, if you know your basic numbers of who's coming and how long they're staying and which pages they're visiting, that alone tells you how you can optimize, how you can try to increase the traffic to certain pages that you're really interested in converting.
Yeah, I mean, I just think this is such a great time for people because we've been in the hustle and flow for a year now, trying to pivot. And it's like, as we're getting back to basics, we need to just figure out who we are. And I'm here to tell you, if you can benchmark now and make some of these adjustments, consider joining this free little cohort, you are going to have incredible stats to show your directors, your leaders about how much growth that you're able to get. And I would just say in a month or in 30 to 60 days.
Totally. If you can track it, you can move it, right?
Yep.
I think I messed that up, but we're just going to go with it.
Name it and claim it, baby.
Okay. So that was step 2. Let's move on to step 3, which is simplify and clarify your site. If you were tracking with my real estate kind of comparison, this is staging your house, right? So you want, whenever someone that walks in the front door, what do realtors always tell you? It's like you want somebody to envision themselves living there. You want to make it cozy. You want them to feel like they can just see it. And so in the same way, when someone lands on your site, can the donor imagine making an impact here? Can they imagine them personally being called to plug into this mission? So something we see a lot, and we'll talk about it in the voice piece of this discussion, is that if you're always talking about the things that you are doing and leaving your donor out of it, it's very passive. It's like invite them into it. So it needs to feel inviting. It needs to pull them in so that they see how they can plug in and have an impact here. Something I think Dana had said when she was on our episode sharing the strategies of Web 2 is how many clicks is it to understand what your mission is?
Mm-hmm. I thought that was a good hack.
How buried is your mission and your impact of what actually you exist to do? So I think, as you're cleaning up your site, you want to think about the staging. Can people imagine the impact that they're going to make, but remove the clutter that's getting in the way of that. And so if you have got 12 calls to action on your homepage, and I've seen sites where it's like literally every, known way to engage with this organization is on the homepage, that's completely overwhelming, right? Mm-hmm. What is the main goal that you're trying to accomplish? And get super clear with that. Make that the main way that people are going to drive through, and you're going to automatically see a lot more traffic going that direction.
And you don't have to just have one thing sit there and be the thing forever. It's right. Like your website is dynamic. Yeah, test it. Test some theories and application. Get a really cool masthead. Maybe it's like a carousel. I don't know what it is, but test some things out. And again, that research is going to help drive that longer term goal of engagement on your website. So that was really good. I like that one. So step 4 would be start with your call to action. I mean, we want to create some urgency, and we want to point someone to a very specific place to do a very specific thing. And I love the analogy that you gave about websites, because I've seen this as well, that just have so many competing messages going on. And I just think it can be very overwhelming, especially if you're coming to a site for the first time and you don't know a lot about the organization. Your mission, while it could be massive in scale, probably does have a very, very simple, concrete theme. That is what needs to be on the front of your website. And the call to action of what you want to do. Perhaps this month it's you're fundraising for a very specific campaign and you're trying to get donations to hit a certain goal or to reach a certain match. Maybe you have an event coming up and you need a lot of volunteers, or maybe you're having a social media find a friend, campaign or something. Whatever it is, go back to your goals, point back to what you're trying to accomplish, and point your traffic so that they can do that incredibly easily. If you want them if you want them to do something, it needs to be simple. One click. Here's how to do it. One click, fill it out, submit it, done.
100%. And we love entrepreneurial mindsets. If you follow entrepreneurs online, what they're going to encourage you to do too is point people to landing pages. And I think, nonprofits don't think about this either, is that a landing page is different than your website because it literally removes every distraction to where you come on this one place. You can't access the full menu. You're literally on this page, and the one goal is to convert you to do the thing. So when you're promoting the campaign, like Becky talks about, the worst thing you could do is just send them to the homepage, on your campaign link that's out in the world. You want to point them to the exact page that's going to convert them, because if they come to your homepage, they could get sucked in 12 different directions. But put them in a space that's going to drive action, and you're going to see an automatic lift in your conversion.
Absolutely.
Okay. So number 5, choose the right words. We're big on words here.
I love maybe too the big conversation of the voice. It's just so important.
But it's like words just have power,
they really do.
And your digital voice is going to set the tone for what your audience experience with your mission, how they perceive your mission, how they perceive you as a competitor among other areas that they're looking at possibly supporting. So it's super important.
Yeah. And I just think this is the time, we've talked about it a lot on the podcast, of defining what is your voice. And we talk so much about style guides sometimes, and what is your brand, and what does the logo look like, and what are your colors. But I really think that people need to start having a style guide for the voice, the way that we talk. And And I think it can be so whimsy and nuanced. And I am seeing that more and more. And of course, if you've read any of our emails, you know how cheeky our communication and our voice style is.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry at all. But it's like putting to bed the corporate voice, the corporate robot voice is something that really moves my heart, because when have we ever been in an organization, and it could be our organizations, or we get emails from our favorite nonprofits, and it's like a white background, and it's very buttoned up, and it's very PC. It just makes it so hard to relate to that being a human on the other end, because it does sound like a robotic voice. So what we're saying is, this is the time to warm it up and be a human being. Use your adjectives, talk simply. I have a writing background, and I love a good AP style manual, but I would probably, my high school English teacher is probably dying on the vine at the way that I communicate in this community sometimes, because we don't even use complete sentences sometimes, because we want to create pause. We want to create a moment or an exhale. You simply can't do that sometimes if you're not using an emoji, or if somebody's telling you there's too many adverbs in there. No, I want you to feel. We want people to feel something when they come to our sites, when they engage with us. So please bring back your adjectives. Please be engaging. We're giving you permission to be relatable, because the more that people who come to your site see you as a human being that they want to lock arms with, it just makes that conversation and that cultivation and engagement so much easier from that point forward, because they feel like they're going on this journey with a friend.
I love it. And people give to people. People don't give to corporate robots. So if you're feeling inclined to write like a corporate robot, please stop. Okay. Something that I think is critical here, and I need to say this to Becky on air for her to respond.
I'm ready.
Don't overwrite.
Oh gosh.
This is the web. People are scrolling, they're flicking. What is the word when you're actually flicking? Is flicking the right word? You're flicking through a page.
I don't know.
Swiping.
Swiping, scrolling.
Thank you for that. But you only have a limited number of characters. Think in tweets here. Think short, think punchy, think quick. But people are not going to read every word on your website. That's just a reality check. And all the data that you find on Google Analytics is going to support it when you start looking at average site time. So take the word that Becky has just shared about being human, about being raw, but be brief, and that's just not the place for long form written words.
It's really hard. And if you're looking for what is our voice, what do people think about us, go to your social channels, see what they're saying about you. There could be some incredibly insightful things that people have said about the way they interpret or view your mission. Lift those suckers up and put them out there, because you want it to be the voice of the people, for the people, by the people.
So good.
I like
I
that.
need
Back
to
to
pledge allegiance
there.
on that.
Very democratization.
Okay,
so
that's
how
been
can they
very
sign
fast,
up?
Right?
Yes, that was quick.
And truly, this class is completely free. We've teamed up, like we said, with Positive Equation and with Fundraise Up. And I want to give a little plug to each of them real quick. But Fundraise Up is disrupting the online giving space. They have got this really cool platform that plugs into any website and uses AI to power these really interesting giving tools that make people give more and make it really engaging and fun, and anybody can install them. It's super easy and free to add to your website.
Don't be scared because we said AI, because it's actually super cool and it's very user friendly. So
yes.
We're all about Fundraise Up.
So we've got them, and then Positive Equation. You've met Dana Snyder if you've listened to the podcast, but she is your social media strategy queen. I mean,
this chick knows what she's doing.
Yes.
We have learned so much from her just by listening and following her on social.
So the power of getting your online giving page as easy to navigate as possible, cleaning up the front door of your website, and then putting a social media strategy behind it, friends, you will move the needle on whatever goal you have if you take the advice that's taught in this class. And so we are linking this access to this up in the show notes. And if you've not seen this in the podcast player, just literally click description. And then we include show notes there, which will help you skip ahead or find parts of the podcast that you're interested in. But there's always links to the direct show notes page. And that is where you can get access to this challenge.
Yep, there's a great Facebook group in there. People are already talking about the problems on their website, things that they're experiencing. So yeah, the more context we have about the pain points that you're experiencing on your website, we can contour this discussion to go into that in March. So we're really excited about it. And for anyone, and I would venture to say a show of hands who we need to do more online fundraising this year in their business plan, in their strategy, in their goals, which is probably a lot of us. This is something that's quick and easy for you, and it's not going to cost your organization a dime.
So come on over. It's going to be really fun to hang out. It's going to be literally taking action during the class. It's going to be a hoot.
It's going to be awesome. And we're going to take notes as well because
Totally.
we need to optimize our website.
Watch our
as
website
well.
get optimized over the next few weeks.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a great discussion, and we appreciate you leaning into the first 5.